Makerspace Adelaide recently partnered with Thunder Laser, a global laser cutter manufacturer based out of China. We got in touch with the Australian office and they were more than happy to support us, as makerspaces are a fantastic way to get real world people to experience and use products that they might not otherwise get to use. Looking at our laser cutting needs, we were on the hunt for an 80 to 100 watt laser source and a bed size a little larger than our previous laser. We settled on the Nova35 with a bed size of 900 by 600mm and an 80 watt laser source. It also had some creature comforts that we hadn't had before, like autofocus and an air assist system that can automatically swap between high and low pressure. We placed the order with Mandy and Glenn from the Australian office, and about a week later, the delivery truck arrived. The laser arrived in a super sturdy wooden crate, and everything we needed to get started was inside. Now, as you may know, Makerspace Adelaide currently operates out of the basement of the WEA. As you may also know, the only two ways to get to the basement are via the rear stairs or the internal elevator. Running a tape measure across the elevator quickly informed us that both the crate and even the Nova35 itself wouldn't fit. So our only option was to move the crate down the rear staircase and into the basement. Our moving team went over a few strategies and risk assessments, and we settled on a low and slow sliding method anchored via a station wagon up above. Once inside, we could fully disassemble the crate and offload the laser cutter. To do that, we just had to remove the sides and the shipping chocks. Then we could raise it onto its casters and wheel it roughly into place. Included with a Thunder Laser, you get an inline extractor fan, air pump for the built-in air assist system, toolkit with everything you'll need, and a water chiller which helps regulate the temperature of components within the machine. To begin with, we hooked up the water cooling lines, filled the chiller, and connected the air assist pump so that we could power up the laser and run a basic test just to make sure everything was working properly. Up until receiving this laser cutter, we had only used Trotec machines and the job control software, which meant it was a bit of a steep learning curve for us to get the software set up and get the Nova35 working. It's a bit like learning one specific CAD modeling software, then suddenly changing to another. They do the same thing, but often just in very different ways. We grabbed some random settings off the internet, plugged them into Lightburn, and ran our very first test job, and it came out fantastic. The machine was fully aligned and calibrated from the factory, so the engraving was super consistent, and the cut line had virtually no kerf or cut angle. It was completely straight. So the Nova35 is now in place, up and running, and available to anyone in Adelaide. If you'd like to use the Nova35, you can book in for an induction session, currently once a fortnight, or if you'd like to learn more about laser cutting and the techniques for designing for laser cutting, you can book in for our drawing for laser cutting workshop, both of which will be in the description below via the link. Thanks for watching.